What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I want to thank anyone that's bared with me. I know the audio has been terrible. I think I fixed it, so we'll have to see. Basically, when I scroll, it'll cut out, so it's just timing it right. So first and foremost, there's a couple things brought to my attention, and it's a little reminiscent, so not to go too crazy, but this was brought to my attention, and let's give him a heart while we're at it. And you could just say it's a one-off, and that would be fine. I brought this up in my live video earlier. This isn't throwing stones, these are just facts. Copying, unfortunately, is a thing, and it's been relentless since the beginning. Most of these controlled opposition channels not only attacked us at the beginning and tried to run us out of the sector, but they openly copied our picks. I did a live video where some individual was defending a content creator, saying he wouldn't dare steal our picks. Well, I do have receipts, and I want to go into this first just so people understand exactly what we're dealing with here. So here we can see, this is from 8 months ago, by the way. It was week 17, and Jake is very proud that his picks were fire. He's smashing the sports book in the rigged NFL, and everyone that's hailed him, congratulations, until you realize that he literally gave me credit and thanked me. Part of the reason my audio sucks, as you can see, my phone is dangerously low on storage. But yeah, this is just one individual. He's certainly not the only one. Basically, all of the usual suspects have joined our Discord, watched our videos, take our picks, and then they try and charge money for them, and that's just not what we're going to do. I've covered it before, but obviously it becomes more apparent. And again, this was when we first started this second channel after our first one got shut down. So, yeah, these people are watching us, and it's, again, pretty selfish in my opinion. They can't even give credit. For me, I like to give credit to people that watch the channel. If somebody brings something to my attention, I always give them credit. So, again, it's nothing crazy. But just be careful when you're watching some of these guys. This is the third individual that it's been brought to my attention that they're just joining the Discord, sending people into the Discord, watching videos, and then trying for their own selfish gain come up with unoriginal ideas that they've taken from somebody else. I showed that because, again, having receipts is the best way. Otherwise, it's just somebody's word versus somebody else's. The guy deleted all the comments afterwards. I guess he thought that they would just disappear into the ether. But yeah, that's just basically what we deal with. And again, I was told by Hutch and other people that copying obviously is a form of flattery. So I do appreciate it for those who believe in our system so much they're copying it for their own channels. Mind you, these are the same people that called me an exploit. So you can see why maybe I'm a little conflicted on it. But either way, copy they will. And again, Jake, anybody else, the pedophile Pat guy, they're not outliers. It's basically all of them. It's a cesspool of people. I think a producer runs all of their channels. Just letting you guys know, because this has been brought to my attention many times. The same people trying to run us out of the sector are the same ones copying our very picks dating back to last year. Anyway, can't really move from screen to another screen too much because the audio, so just bear with me. I did want to go into how we've done with the system, and this is why I've made my channel the way I do. I don't do the simple, hey, look, that guy threw an obvious interception, the game is rigged breakdowns. I try and cover things where people can actually gain value. So, since the beginning of simply this football season, using the system, we have gained tremendous value. We're up about 24 units net. This is with about a 50-50 record. After today, I think we're like 27 and 27, something like that. And it's because we use the three-leg system. I've gone into this before, and people can copy all they want, but if they don't copy the actual blueprint, then the profit's not going to be there. So anyone that's been tailing, great job. I had gone into how as essentially we only need for a 3-leg loss it's a 7-unit loss. We need to win 7 sequences to nullify that. But then we get games like this where we play the Lions on the money line on a leg 3, profited 4 units. So you can see there are games where we lose a 7-legger or a 3-legger, 7 units. It does happen. It just doesn't happen at nearly to the degree it does for us to be in the red. So we're in the green by quite a bit, and this is literally just all in my playlist. That's another reason I made my playlist, because I know we have copiers out there and we have people that like to lift information and then sell it when I'm trying to put it out for free. So if you look at my playlist from game 1 all the way until now, there is not one pick on here that won't be in the playlist. Just a quick scroll. And you'll see that every single pick that we have done is in here. We got the Lions, Falcons, Patriots, Jets. We got a couple really nice ones. Packers, Saints. We didn't get the Vikings, so we're going to lose some, of course. We missed the Raiders, of course. But the most important one here is Cardinals, Cowboys. We got people jumping on that one now because it's been mentioned a few times on here, and to me it's very interesting. We had all of Deion's teams lose again. I went into that. I went into my live video how it was a 70-1 shot. And the first 2 weeks, Phoenix brought it to my attention in week 1. He commented, and it was interesting because all of Deion's teams won with him. So the next week, sure enough, all of his teams win with him again. And then this week, the Niners play on Thursday. He plays on Saturday, gets shellacked, and then all of his teams once again lose with him. So at this point, I don't think that can be a coincidence. I think it's just way too much to be a coincidence. And I just wanted to go into what I believe. I'm not sure if they're going to repeat it next week, but I do believe that we can use this to really do well going forward. If we found this Deion theory, and we found it as a community, a bunch of people, again, in the Discord, very smart people, always bringing up different things, and it really helps us, in my opinion, gauge where they're going. So I think there's no doubt they do it with other players, other teams. I had gone into before how I think they have sister teams. When certain teams win, they all kind of win together. And this Deion rub, in my opinion, really proves that. So we had an amazing week. Again, good enough to the point where now more people are copying us. And like I said, you could take that as arrogance, but you saw at the very beginning of the video, one of the top channels, for some reason the top channel, I really don't understand how, admitted to copying us because they can't come up with ideas of their own. And if you just compare, you'll see we've been just completely copied from the beginning. Now, I've been told that's a good problem, and I don't have an issue with it, but you could see why I'd be a little conflicted. These same people called me an exploit, did everything they could to go after our channel, personally attacked us, raided our Discord, and then they put out our ideas and framed them as their own. But that's fine. They'll continue to do what they want to try and grasp at relevancy as they are plummeting from where they used to be. I wonder why. Now, as I just showed you guys, we're up over 20 units net with about a 50-50 record. It's really just about sticking to the system. It's as simple as that. We made over 100 units last year just sticking to the system, and we're going to do that this year. For this game here, I wanted to go into it. I always like to cover a game. We missed the Raiders, Steelers. Honestly, we got the Steelers last week. I never expect to get the Steelers on multiple weeks. They're a really tough read, so nothing crazy. It was a leg 2. Jimmy G played worse than I thought, obviously, so I was off on that. I still think the Raiders will do good this year, though. For this game here, I like the Bucs for the cover. I thought about doing the money line, I really did, but I really think we're going to see one of these 3-4 point covers just because they frame the Eagles as sucking on the road. I think they still have Baker where they want him to look pretty good in a primetime game. Don't think we've seen him in a primetime game since they played the Rams. So he could definitely win the game. But I like them to, since he was on the Rams and they led that comeback. But I like them to to cover. I think it's a safer play, and I think they will cover. I like going into my notepad. I just have to be very careful because whenever I do, the audio is cutting out. It's cutting out anyway. It should be better this video because I've changed a little bit of the interference and I'm not scrolling. But I had just done a video on this and then it can't be heard. So I don't edit my videos. I just do them live. So I'm just doing it again. But they're in here somewhere. We'll just play it here. You might not hear it for a second, so bear with me. Okay, so it's going to be like 2 for 2 units. That's going to be for the Jaguars loss. And again, the whole point of the system is to close it out by leg 3. We don't have to hit every game. As you can see, we're doing phenomenal without doing that. And we can play money lines like we did today. We got the Cardinals at 5-1 because we have more room to work around with. The parlay, again, if you follow that, awesome job. We got 70-1. I'll be following that very closely going forward. But I just wanted to go into my pick for tonight, technically tonight. I'm going to go into the Rams. I just have to see what happens with Joey B. And yeah, I found it interesting when I woke up from my little bit of sleep because I don't sleep very much. And yeah, people are bringing to my attention that another individual, one that raided the Discord, at least a lot of his people did, and had to be kicked out because they were just obviously in there to steal information to sell, is now copying us. And again, I'm not one of those shots fired guys, but I do like to show receipts when I'm making a claim and when people are outright just lying, which, as you can see, many people are. So I don't think it's going to change. People are going to do what they're going to do. And as I brought up twice, it's been brought to my attention. Hutch brought it up to me. A few other people brought it up to me. Creaky Joints brought it up to me before. People copy you. It's a good thing. It obviously means that you're doing something right. But just keep your eye out because you have these guys, not only will they're projection artists, so not only will they copy us, but then they'll turn around and call us the exploits when we're the ones helping people make money and we're not the ones copying others and trying to make a bunch of money off super chats and things of that nature. But it is important, like I said, I want people to enjoy who they want to enjoy. I'm not one of those people that gets mad. Oh, they're watching this guy, they're watching that one. I have my opinions of them. To me, that's an entire cesspool of egomaniacs and narcissists who don't give a crap about anybody. They care about numbers. They care about whatever they can do to get ahead. And then again, I think that's been proven when you read the comment from the beginning of the video and then the individual is trying to pass it off as his own. He's not an outlier. They all do it, unfortunately, which is why I separate and distance myself from these people. I don't want to be like that. For me, it's much more fun riding the community, the amazing Discord, sharing information in the Discord with people that have common interest, helping each other win, having fun when we do win. And it's as simple as that. We're going to keep winning. So if people want to copy us, that's fine. They're just helping us beat Vegas because funny, none of the controlled opposition channels want to copy this. They don't want to copy this winning system. It's kind of weird. It's almost like maybe there's producers that run their channels and one thing that they're not supposed to do is help people beat Vegas because they'll put out picks and things of that nature. But this is a proven money management system. These people stalk my channel. They see it works and yet they are not using it themselves. So kind of weird. They'll steal narratives and things of that nature because it gets clicks. But to me, even though it's not the most fun part, I do this where, again, if you look in my playlist, you will see every single one of these plays is in my playlist. with the exact amount and how much we're playing and who beforehand. And then I do a video afterwards, just for good measure. For anyone that might be doubting, you can go back and watch the entire playlist and see in live time, yeah, they are up over 20 units netted. And it might not sound like a ton, but even 5 units is a lot. I do $25 units, so if you're up 20 units, that's a $500 net with a few sequences that we do have open, but not a lot. So we're off to a great start this year. This, again, was with about a 50-50 record. So it's not like we're hitting 70%. It's just smart money management. So I wanted this video to be a thank you to everybody. We had a great live video. Apparently it was watched, and then an individual decided to, I don't stalk these people's videos, but things are brought to my attention, decided to take the Deion Sanders theory and run it as their own. Again, for me, it was brought up by different people, and we all kind of came to a decision. You know, I never claimed to have an exact theory that, this is all mine. To me, that would be foolish. Everybody gets an idea that we kind of run with, and we come to different assertions, but we come to a pretty similar one usually, if we're aligned. So, I wanted to thank everybody for the live video. I also wanted to thank everybody that has been very supportive, people that understand what's going on, understand a lot of the stuff behind, in the weeds, some of these other channels, some of the stuff that they pull, and the support's been amazing. We got shut down. That comment I showed you from the beginning was the brand new channel. We had just got started, and again, people were already stalking our every video. Again, that dude is not the only one. Basically, everybody does it. But basically, I did what everybody told me to do. Keep doing my own content, Don't really worry about it. Take it as a compliment, and we did a great job. We got shut down the first time before we got to 1,000 people. I didn't really get to thank everybody. We did a live video where I wanted to, and we did about an hour and a half. My equipment started glitching out. I have some archaic equipment, but it was a good live stream. We'll be doing one on Thursday. And yeah, we're doing incredibly well as far as profit-wise, analytically, and just getting the message out there. I think most people understand the difference between controlled oppo and someone that really wants to help. And I appreciate you guys for being appreciative. Again, it's completely mutual. I'm just an idiot talking to myself if you guys aren't contributing and doing all sorts of things like that. So I think a lot of these other people need to understand that, and they don't. It's a very entitled cesspool, unfortunately, that I'm in. And that's why I distance myself, because it's not to act like I'm better. I just want nothing to do with these people. A lot of these people are, one bad bet away from a complete crisis breakdown. They're going through crises of their own. And from what I saw in the beginning, they're attacking each other, going after each other, trying to have boxing matches with each other, tagging me in all their videos, then stealing my stuff, then attacking me, calling me an exploit, raiding the Discord. It doesn't end. And then again, last night we had some more people that decided to watch our live stream, and I guess probably charge. I'm not sure if they charged or not, but from what's being brought to my attention, for ideas that aren't even theirs. And again, ideas are ideas, so it's not like they're copyrighted or anything. But it is pretty humorous to see the same people that went after us are such big fans of us, and they believe in us so much. So that's always nice. So if you guys didn't know that origin story about Jakey, then yeah, that's just, there's the facts. The dude copied us. He's not the only one. But again, I'm not going to continue to ignore blatantly obvious things. And if you watch even from, again, when we started till now, it's not like it's a one-off. Obviously, it's been happening multiple times. Had to ban him from the Discord twice. I don't know how he got back in. Got my email, sent me an email. So just watch out for these guys. They really, they're something is all I can say. But that'll be the last you really hear about them. I just, if you know my channel, I rarely talk about other people. But when they are specifically doing things to our channel, when they've ran us through the mud, at least tried to, but they wound up running themselves through the mud, copying us, and again, doing it for the complete sole purpose of personal gain, then I like to point that out. But I can say we are the only channel that is and continues to prove that we are profiting. We put the receipts out there. There's nothing I hide. I always put the receipts out there for everybody to see and hear, and we're doing a heck of a job. Like I said, whenever I go into my notepad is when the audio seems to be weird. But again, this is just if you've been following since the beginning of football season. We have a couple 3-leg losses. That's going to happen. But you see it's more than mitigated and negated by all of the sequences we win. Obviously, we only need a 33% split if we hit 1 out of 3. Now, it doesn't mean that's always going to work, but for the most part, it will. So we got the Lions cover. Like I said, we got the Patriots cover. We did miss the Vikings. Giants Cowboys was last week, so we missed that one. So we're going to miss some. We've only lost 3 sequences, though, and we're 40 sequences in. So you can do the math, and obviously, like I said, we're doing very well. I think it'll definitely continue, considering we're doing this well with about a 50% hit rate. Maybe a little above 50%. So I'll have more picks out. I wanted to basically just address that. Thank everybody for the live video. Thank everybody for the support. Go into just my side, basically what I've been dealing with, what we've been dealing with, and how some of these other people act. Because every day it seems to be something else. Even when you ignore people, some things just find their way to your desk. But if you didn't know, we are, I would say, the catalyst for a lot of these people that have been suddenly doing pick'ems out of nowhere when they used to just do breakdown videos. Suddenly they're doing narratives and pick'ems, and they just happen to align perfectly with ours. It's crazy. What a crazy coincidence. And they're commenting, but it's fine. Like I said, desperate people will do desperate things. But I'm most happy we killed it yesterday. Like I said, anyone that tailed the 70-1 on Deion, fading all of his teams, awesome job. And anyone that really just tailed in general, we're doing really well. We're going to continue it. Like I said, as I typed in, I like the Bucs to cover the Eagles in this game. It could be worth a money line play. It really could be. But I think it's worth playing the spread. I think it's just a better play. And then we have, obviously, Joey B playing tomorrow. Do we get redemption from the Super Bowl? Or do we have an 0-3 Bengals team? It could be either. I'm leaning redemption. They had the Vikings start off 0-3. I feel like they got that narrative. But we'll have to see what happens. So nothing too crazy. Like I said, hopefully the audio holds up. No matter what I do, it seems like my audio is cutting out sometimes. If it is, then I might just have to switch to the computer long term. But I also turned off some interference, and without me scrolling like this, typing stuff in, it should be pretty good. So I can't imagine the audio is too bad on this video. But yeah, I just wanted people to kind of know. A lot of people are newer to the channel, so they might not know who I am. They might have been referred here by, they were on one of these goons' channels and got recommended to me. That's what makes these people so angry. Is the fact that, God forbid, we get recommended from their channel. And then they start doing the smear campaigns only to copy us. So if you didn't really know the story, there's not much of a story, but that's really it. This is a cesspool of narcissists who only care about themselves, it seems like, which is why I distance myself from them all. I do my own thing, and it's worked out perfectly. So yeah, like I said, I like to always do a recap. We had a good week. We hit more games than we missed. Like I said, we got the Colts. Almost took them on the money line, but we took them on the spread, which is fine because, again, it was part of I also took them separately on the money line for the fade Deion parlay. And I went into this how it was interesting. The Niners played Thursday. Then Deion got shellacked on Saturday. And then the Ravens, Commanders, Falcons, and Cowboys all lost, which to me is just unfathomable. That's 3 weeks in a row following a Deion win or loss. Everybody followed suit. But we missed the Broncos, obviously. That was a big miss. Missed the Browns. But we got the Jets, got the Bills, got the Packers, got the Lions. Missed the Jags, missed the Vikes. Got the Seahawks, got the Cardinals. Got the Chiefs. Missed the Steelers. So a winning week, and more importantly, 5-1 on the Cardinals. So even if we had finished a few games below 500, it was a winning week. And obviously the parlay. So you can see just using smart money management, not chasing, picking games that seem weird, in my opinion, that just don't make sense. besides Deion, another reason I liked the Colts was they didn't move the spread. It was still at 7.5 after they ruled out Richardson, which I found very odd. With Lamar starting, I don't understand why they would do that. So those are the kind of things I look for. It doesn't always work out, but as you can see, it works out more than it doesn't. And at this point, the Deion hype is ridiculous, and I guess the anti-hype is just as ridiculous because the odds of this happening, in my opinion, are just absurd. So maybe next week we can get even more people to tail the fade Deion parlay because he's losing to USC. So his 4 teams might lose. What's interesting is the Cardinals play the Niners. So the only thing more ridiculous than them beating the Cowboys to finish off that parlay would be if they beat the Niners in the following week. That would be pretty insane. So we'll be going into all that. Like I said, this isn't a crazy long video. I had to redo it. And I just wanted to go into some stuff that some people might not have been aware of. And thank the people that, again, it's very humbling when channels that have been around for so long apparently know a lot of things, resort to copying our picks and in some cases literally copy and pasting them as you saw in the beginning of the video, joining our Discord for the sole purpose of hopefully getting some information for themselves. Again, it's much better than people ignoring us because we're wrong. Of course, that's not going to be the case because we have been the most proven channel. Not to be cocky, but we have been the most proven channel as far as profits out there. And I am proud of that fact, and I intend on continuing it. At the beginning of the year, I said we're going to net over 100 units. I stand by that. As you can see, we're a month in and almost a quarter of the way there. And we haven't even got to our college spreads yet, which I love to play. Fading teams that are good against the spread, taking teams that are bad against the spread. It's pretty simple, but it works. So yeah, I like the Bucs cover. I'll be going into the Rams game. Again, we missed the Raiders, but Raiders-Steelers is a tough one. There's a reason I made it a leg 2 and not a leg 3. The Bucs is also a leg 2 for I think it's for the Jags loss I went into. But yeah, I think we're going to have a good night tonight technically. I think we'll hit both, honestly. I'm leaning Bengals. I'll probably go with them, but I'll have that video out tomorrow, technically later today. And yeah, hopefully you guys found this a little insightful. I know there's a lot of newer people trying to figure out who's real, who's not. Hopefully this helps a little bit. As you know, we don't change anything on this channel. If I'm wrong about something, I just laugh it off and say, yep, we'll get them next time, because we're not going to get every game right. Trying to act like Nostradamus is not going to increase our bankroll. Using smart money management, ignoring the noise, and taking advantage of good value, and hedging. We do a lot of live hedging in the Discord, which brings me to that. Thank you to everybody in the Discord. You guys make it amazing. It's a really fun Discord. I've been in Discords with crypto people, thousands of people, and we honestly have more action and engagement going on in our Discord than most of them. A lot of them are dead Discords, so it's really good to see. It means that I'm guessing that it's a pretty fun Discord and people feel comfortable, which is my entire goal. The reason I always say happy earnings and positive vibes. So sometimes, again, I can speak the truth and it might not seem positive, but it's just the ugly truth and I'm not going to ignore it. And I rarely talk about some of these other goons, but I do feel the need to when, again, people might not know what's going on. We've been outright attacked. I've gone into that ad nauseum. So there's the pedophile pack guy went after us. His failed rapper friend went after us. We obviously have people copying us, as you can see. I just shake it off, but it does happen. So if people ever wonder why I don't love these other individuals, it's because I see them for what they are. And it's just failed exes. So we have failed rappers, failed comedians. One guy I think is a failed conspiracy theorist. I'm not really sure what he is. If you think some of my ideas are out there. And it's not even that. It's more about exploiting algorithms. We have a lot of algorithm exploiters out there who just want to, hey, this is a hot topic. So again, you guys are smart. Obviously, for me, it doesn't matter. If someone watches me and then watches somebody else, it actually helps me because it shows the contrast in content, which I always appreciate. Obviously, I don't edit everything and all that stuff. But as far as just downright results, when someone watches me then another channel, I actually feel pretty good. But a lot of the other channels don't. When someone watches them then gets recommended to me, they start pulling out a lot of dirty tactics. And again, I showed some of them already. I have tons of receipts. I just didn't want to make this a video about me roasting all these other channels. I simply wanted to go into reasons why when people say, hey, you should collab with this guy, what do you think of this guy? There's a reason my answer is always they're scum, because they are. It's just the facts. I mean, the way that they've behaved. So that's my opinion. I'm going to keep pressing forward. We've been killing it. And desperate people will do desperate things, obviously. We hit 1,000 twice now, so that's always nice. And again, that would not be possible without you guys. I've gone into this before. Without you guys, I'm just an idiot talking to myself. Something that a lot of these other channels need to understand. So thank you all very much, because I wouldn't have a channel if you guys weren't watching, commenting. And there's times you disagree with me on games and things of that nature. And I love that. I just love any kind of insight, any kind of dialogue. I think is just really good, and it's going to help us. And it's how a lot of us were able to snuff out Deion. It's how a lot of us were able to snuff out some of these traps. And people are already looking at the Super Bowl, so I think we're going to have a good read on that. The playoffs should be interesting, so I'll be going into all that. I already did a playoff video. If you didn't see it, maybe you saw it on another channel because I put it out there, and who knows. But yeah, I'd imagine a person or two probably watched it. I was actually pretty surprised when I figured out there are people that literally have watched all of my videos for the sole purpose of trying to find something to attack me for, or just copy them. Again, I can't make this stuff up. My videos are pretty long, so to have that much time when you're supposed to be running your own channel is pretty crazy. But again, these are just things that I'm faced with every single day for the last 2 years. These same people have done these same things, the same offenders. Not much I can do at this point except bring to your attention. They might not have the best motives. But most importantly, again, is always beating Vegas and staying positive. So after our day yesterday, I'd imagine mostly everybody is feeling really good, and that's good. Of course, it's a very Vegas thing for the Raiders to let the air out of our balloon at the end. But again, it was only a leg 2, so nothing too crazy. And I think we're going to hit this leg 2 with the Bucs tomorrow. So I'll go more into all that, but I just wanted to do a little bit of an origin story, if you will. You know, I don't come out every week talking about stuff like that, so for people that were unfamiliar. And more importantly, I wanted to go through. It just seems like whenever I'm in here specifically is when my audio cuts out. So obviously you can watch any video in the playlist and see these are all the exact same. I just add pics to them as we move along. But yeah, I didn't want my audio cutting out after a 30-minute video. That can be a pain. And I appreciate you guys that have sat through the last couple videos where the audio has been cutting out at random times. I don't get it. It doesn't let me know when it's cutting out. But it's more to do with if I'm in an app, like the notepad here, or if I'm typing. So you can obviously read the notepad. I post it every single day. I add all new plays to it. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that every single pick in the notepad in order is in my playlist. I even chronologically ordered the playlist so people can just go to the live 23-24 football season playlist and go straight down the list. So if it's your first time seeing a video, you'll see, wow, all these picks were made, and anyone that tailed is up 20-something net units. Because if I just said it, then obviously I'd be like these other goons. So I actually put the receipts out there first so everybody can see. So we had a really good weekend if we throw in college and the NFL. I think it continues into Monday, and I'll have my Rams pick out later. So thank you to everybody, especially the people that are always looking out for me and looking out for the people that care about the channel, and for everyone that shows support. It really is invaluable. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.